So this was a ride that I was downtown. I dropped off a Dulles passenger at the Marriott Marquis, and Lyft kept just slamming me with, like, as I was arriving into DC, they kept queuing up ride after ride after ride. Some of them were under $10 XL going to Reagan from downtown DC, like 8, 9, and a couple of them were over 10, but no bonus on any of them. Zero, nothing, nothing. No subsidy on any of the rides. So I kept declining, and then I went offline before I ended this trip. And of course, because otherwise, as soon as you end the ride, they're going to try to put another ride on you, right? So I went offline, ended the ride here, and then there was no subsidy. There was nothing on the map. It was like one of those situations, probably like right now. Let's see. Actually, now it'll show all kinds of pink. Oh wow, nothing. Look at this. Crazy. It was just a circle, like a vortex of nothing when I was there, and a whole bunch of little patches of purple and pink, like nothing more than $3 on the outer edges of DC. But now look at that. Wow, that's Monday. Rush hour is over. So anyway, so I put on destination mode and I left it on premium only, right? And I got these nice people, I should say. But here's the funny story. So it's Union Station pickup, right? And I'm a right lane person. I don't like to stop in the travel lane because, I mean, if you don't know, ask me. I'll tell you all about it. Don't stop in the travel lane. Pull over to the right if at all possible. Now I get it if it's a crazy, mess and there's nothing else you can do. Of course, you got to do what you got to do. But if there's a spot on the right, I will not allow my passenger to board the vehicle before I pull over into the right lane. It's just a thing I've got, mutual. Well, first of all, obeying the law, but also and safety, but also mutual respect for all the other drivers. So anyway, so I pull over to the right, and the lady, like, I don't know what she meant, but she goes, "You got to hurry." Like, before no greeting, it was a husband and wife, and she goes, "You got to hurry," and I was like, maybe she was talking to her husband. I don't know, but I felt like she was talking to me, because he wasn't acknowledging her, although that could be par for the course, right? But whatever. So she said this, and I just took a very deep breath and paused and said, okay, because that's what I do. You know what I mean? I don't get miffed about anything. It's not worth it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm pretty sure she was barking this order to me for some reason. I do not know why. Like, I don't know if she thought that, that there's more people trying to, I don't know what she thought, or if she was even talking to me. Maybe, like I said, maybe she was talking to her companion. I assume it was her husband. They were going to the same house after a trip from New York. So quiet ride. She whips open a sandwich, starts eating her sandwich with, chatting with her guy. And I'm again, deep breath. I'm not going to say a word because they're already in the car. It's not worth it to me to say, excuse me, ma'am, no eating in the car. You know what I mean? Because she is eating. She already did it. And I'm sure she's going to be respectful, and not make a mess. She might not be, but then I could report her for making a mess. And there's no mess. I just looked back there, actually. No mess. So twice, I'm like, I'm pretty disturbed by this person twice, right? but I've taken 2 very deep breaths, said okay after the first one, said nothing at all on the sandwich deal, of course, because they're just chatting away. She has no idea that I've, been disturbed by her in any way. She doesn't know. And I've done this with thousands of passengers. I'm not kidding, okay, because I've done a lot of rides. How many rides have I done? Let me see. I've done 33,000 rides. So anyway, so nothing happened. And then finally, she, because she didn't think I was disturbed by her, and I had been, just cool and calm and professional, formal, whatever, finally, in a lull in her conversation with her husband, you can see it was not a short ride. It was like a 30-minute ride or so. She finally goes, how was your day? Right? Because that's the speculative whatever you get from some of these folks. And I was like, oh, pretty good. How about yourself? I say the same thing every single time. I don't want to talk about my day because I don't want to depress anybody. You know what I mean? Seriously though, I don't get into too much about my day unless I feel some weird way of relating to the person that is pretty rare. So I threw it on them, and they had a long day, and they told me all about it. You know what I mean? And I just, you ask questions that are kind of open-ended sometimes, not always. Very much small talk though. A lot of small talk. Along the ride, it was very, very convivial atmosphere, and then I shut up, you know what I mean? Because that's the other thing, you know what I mean? And then they start chatting amongst one another again. Because if you talk too much, then you're an annoying driver, you know what I mean? You don't want to talk too much. Talk a little bit, don't talk much. Ask an open-ended question or two. Open-ended is anything they can't answer by saying yes or no or a grunt, or an agreement. Ask a real question. To ask them to describe something about whatever they said. Tell me about that. How does that work? Stuff like that. So anyway, if they seem to be into having a conversation, if they don't, then shut up. You know what I mean? So what this is telling me here, though, is interesting. So this ride probably cost them in the 30s, because usually people tip 20%. So this is, if you do 753, right? My wife's going to call me any minute. I'm supposed to be meeting her here right now. Yeah, 37.65 is probably the ride cost. And without my tip, I was making, about 21 and change on 35? That's piss poor, man. That's really bad. Lyft is killing it now, man. I had one yesterday where the guy was paying, where is it? It's right here, actually. This guy right here he is, $20 tip. This guy right here, where I had, as you saw the total for the ride before the tip, 31 and change, right? Why did I have wait time? He got right in the car instantly. I don't remember that. This is definitely the ride, though. This guy was paying over $80 for his ride. This was also Union Station, as a matter of fact. Over $80 for this trip. Paid more than $80. He tipped me 20. So if he hadn't tipped me, I was making significantly lower than half of what he paid. Lyft is doing this all day, every day. That's all I'm saying. I'm done. I gotta go meet my